Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be doing a couple of regrips. I had a couple of friends drop clubs in, and I must say the two clubs that we've got are well overdue for regripping. We've got the Odyssey putter from Dan. Dan's missus might be watching this as well. We'll talk about her in a minute. And then we've got this one. Well, this is another Dan. This is our Dan Warren, who's on the channel. He didn't realise how bad this grip were until I picked it up and I was like, Dan, have you felt that grip? And we're like, what do you mean have you felt it? I says, that's terrible. And when I put a new one in his hands, he couldn't believe difference. Sometimes, guys, you don't realise how bad your grips are until you pick a new one up. So just check your grips. Obviously, perfect time of year to be changing the grips. And if you can do it from home, I mean, I'm going to show you how I do this. It won't be the first video you've seen of somebody doing regrips from home, but what we are going to talk about today is SuperStroke has sent us some of their new golf grips, where you might not be aware of this, but they've actually bought out Lambkin. So you'll start to see a lot of the Lambkin technology, and hopefully a little bit of sort of heritage from Lambkin will be included, you know, into the SuperStroke grips. So it's exciting to see what's going to happen with SuperStroke in future. But what we've got in here is a selection of different grips, and these have been ordered to demonstrate to you, because I think what a lot of people get wrong when they're ordering grips or going to Pro Shop and asking for grips is that they get the same grip all the way through the bag, and I don't think that's the best way. I personally ordered these grips for myself, and you'll see if you just come in a bit closer, you'll see in the box we've got some spiral grips here that I've ordered for the shorter irons. I'm going to put these into my wedges. They're a mid-size grip as well, and the reason I've done that is I put mid-size in the wedges is so that I don't hold the grip with as much pressure. I'm wanting a little bit lighter grip. We've also got sort of the, you know, a bit softer texture because it's spiraled. I feel like it gives me that little bit more where I put my hands on it a bit softer and feel the grip more. So I can just play with a much lighter grip in the wedges and get them hands working a little bit more freely. And then I'll talk a bit more about the other grips, what we've got in this box, you know, as we go on. But we've got the sort of multi-compound, which I play in the sort of irons and woods. But amongst this, not only have I got the multi-compound, I've got different thicknesses of multi-compound, which I'll talk a little bit more about throughout the video. But let's get started. We're going to start off by regripping Dan's putter. Now, he's decided that he's going to go for a SuperStroke grip. He's gone for the 3.0. He's wanting to try a little bit thicker grip. Now we're going to cut this grip off, and I'm going to use a hook blade. If you've not got one of these, I literally paid about £1 for this off Temu. It's going to prevent you from scratching your shaft. So you just basically hook it there, and that's literally how easy it is to cut through with a hook blade. Oh, this is coming off nicely. I think the jackpot with this one. Well, tape's coming off. Some of these can be really difficult to get off, and if they are, if this tape gets, you know, if it's really difficult to get off, what I would suggest if you have a heat gun is just to run the heat gun, or even an airdryer. Just get some heat on there, and then it'll peel off a lot easier for you. But this one's coming off really nicely. Oh, so let's get on. So basically, I've been going out recently, and a lot of my friends' missuses have been saying like, oh, they don't watch golf, but whenever I'm on TV, they tend to watch it just because they kind of indirectly know me a little bit and they find it fascinating. Well, Dan's missus said quite opposite. She come up to me, she turned around and she said, I am fed up of listening to you in bedroom at 8 o'clock at night when I'm trying to get ready for bed. She says, our Dan's always got you on telly in bedroom. And she says, I'm bloody fed up of it, which made me laugh. So this is his putter. And if you're watching, Katie, I'm sorry about that. But what can we say? I'll tell you what, Dan, what's going on here? Look at the state of that. I'll have to clean that up for him. That's absolutely appalling. What I were looking for there off camera is some weighing scales. So I just wanted to find out the difference in weight between this grip and that grip. Now, on initial feel, that feels a bit lighter. So this is going to make Dan's putter head feel a little bit weightier. In an ideal world, I mean, Dan's a very infrequent golfer. I mean, if he plays 6 times a year, he's probably lucky. He's got kids and stuff like that. Katie might say otherwise. But yeah, he don't play very much. So he's not really going to tell much difference, I don't think. And to be fair to him, I think a bit more weight in the head would probably help on greens that we play on in the UK. So it's going to obviously lighten the mass weight of the golf club, but in his hands, he's probably going to feel like the head's a little bit heavier than before. So we're going to spiral this. If I was obviously doing this for, yeah, like a scratch golfer, somebody that really were in love with a putter, then we'd have to sort of weigh grips and try to get that balance right. But this is like more of a regrip from home. And I can't see Dan really noticing a great deal of difference, to be fair. I like to spiral the tape. Yeah, that's good. Just going to sort of trim that a little bit. Wants to probably be just about 1 centimetre. Sure, that's perfect. Right, so I always do my own regrips. I think like lining up for me, it's essential. Sometimes when I've had grips put on by other people, you know, like my eye might be slightly different to theirs, and I think for you guys, you know, like what you think square could be a little bit open or a little bit close. So then when someone else puts the grip on, you can think that they've not put them on straight, but it's just that we all maybe just see things slightly differently. So yeah, I've done regripping from like 16, so it's something I would say I'm very good at and take a lot of pride in. I think I take a lot of pride in it because I've had a couple of bad regrip jobs before, you know, that people's done for me, and I know how annoying that is, to the point where yeah, it just annoys you that much. You've almost got to go and get them done again, ain't you? Excuse my foot attire. That's perfect. Just felt that's fully on now. Right, so now we've got that grip on. If you've not got a perfect eye for regripping, there's a couple of things I can suggest that you check for. And first thing is just to lay, because it's a flat front at the grip. Well, I think every putter grip's got a flat front, or it should do, is if you just place it down with some pressure. Come and have a look closer. So firstly, is that seam nice and straight at the back? And that looks very good to me. And then if you come from this side, does that club face look square? Let's just zoom in closely and have a look. Does that look square? Now, it's no point in asking the person behind the camera because she ain't got a bloody clue. But I can tell you, when I've got both fingers or both thumbs at the front, it sits perfect. So we'll clean that club face up and it's ready to go for Dan. Now, this is Dan Warren's, who's on the channel. I'm not sure he's going to have this driver much longer, to be honest. He's got the Ping G430, and he keeps mentioning this new tailor-made driver that's come out. So I think once Sam gets up and running with Golf Repairs for You, I think he's going to be renaming that, obviously. I don't know if I should say too much about this yet, actually, because we are doing a series on the journey of Sam obviously moving into his new premises and expanding the business. So I'll not say too much more, but Dan will definitely be down there for a fit and getting some new product, but I can't have him playing with this. So what I've done with Dan, because he is more of an advanced golfer, we're just replacing his grip like for like. So earlier we talked about obviously mid-sized grips in the wedges. We talked about the spiral, which gives me that little bit more softer feeling. I don't put as much pressure on. It gives me a bit more sort of feeling that I can use my hands in my shorter wedges. I don't get stiff because as somebody that's been through yips, I remember getting very robotic, you know, not allowing my hands to move, not allowing that club head to swing freely. So I think that's essential for me. So I always go up one size. So I measure standard, you know, I've got standard hand size. So in the wedges, I always go up one thickness, and I tend to get something toe velvet or spiral where I don't have ultimate grip. I've just got feel. But going up into the irons, obviously, as I said, I measure standard grip thickness. So we've got standard for the irons. Now, I've gone multi-compound because I do like feel, but I also like grip and secureness. So this is a little bit firmer at the top now. It's not very spongy. So that means that it makes me sort of get that top hand, you know, nice and secure. And then the bottom hand here, where it is a little bit more spongy, I would say I'm a little bit looser in that hand, which I like the feeling of. I don't want equal grip pressure in both hands because otherwise I wouldn't hinge very well. So I love the multi-compound. I've never understood why people would get full cord all the way through, because you're going to reduce that feel element at the bottom, and I think almost going to probably grip, because it's not just that it's cord, the actual material's firmer because it's got cord in it. So I think you can't get a better combination than firm at the top and soft at the bottom to give you that pressure to sort of get a nice secure left hand, and then a bit lighter in your bottom hand, which is going to help you obviously hinge and, yeah, keep that little bit of a feel in your hands, basically, so you don't reduce all the feel out of your swing and you don't get your wrist too locked out. And what's really bizarre is in my driver, I actually go jumbo. So I think there's definitely a jumbo in this box somewhere. Now this is 2 sizes away from the grip thickness I would order, or should order, based on hand measurement, at 2 sizes away. People might think that's crazy. But what that does is, with the swing weight as well, it makes me feel like I can block that left side of the golf course out. If you've watched my channel, you'll know that I like to play a fade. And having that little bit of extra thickness in my grip really makes me feel like I can hold that release off. Obviously, with the swing weight being correct as well. So when you think about it, I've actually got 3 different variables. I've got mid-size with spiral, then I've got jumbo in a multi-compound, and then I've got multi-compound standard. So there's 3 different variables of grip in my bag, which for some of you guys, you're probably like your head spinning. But yeah, I mean, that's what I use, that's what I play, that's my preference. And it has been, and I'll tell you where this all came from. It were actually, I went to a Cleveland wedge fitting day when I were about 22-year-old, and we were looking at what the tour players use and why, and that was the education that led me on to advising you guys and all my clients about thinking about buying grips in a bit more depth and not just buying one grip all the way through, because this is exactly the way the pros set up their grips. Obviously some won't, and I'm going off point here a little bit, but I think a lot of pros have played golf since like 15, 16-year-old. So what they've got in their bag has stayed very fluent. Like Tiger Woods, for example, is not using a zero-toe putter, and he probably never will, because why does he need to? He's grooved his game, he's a top putter off what he uses. So he hasn't developed with time, and, you know, like, he's not gone into zero-toe. And I think a lot of pros, you know, maybe have stuck with what they know from being 15, 16-year-olds. So they won't all be in this sort of frame. But players like Bryson that are very much the scientists of golf, and they sort of want to take advantage of all the latest technology, and, you know, they've been mad into this. And I bet if you looked in Bryson's bag and what grips he uses, he'll probably have 5 styles of different grips and thicknesses and stuff like that. So yeah, a little bit of a chat about grips today. Obviously, I'll finish Dan's off as well. Danielle's behind the camera. She's keen to get off. We're going to a Christmas market. So I think we'll finish on that note. But one more little point. I've got this for sale. I'm going to do a separate video on it, testing it and reviewing it. It's been given to me by a friend. I'm sure he said it cost him about £700 this. But he's just not using it. And I think it's going to be fantastic for somebody that's wanting to set an indoor golf simulator up, or wanting some, you know, data when they're good at driving range. So get in the comments, guys, if you're interested. You can always make me an offer and I can see what he says. But yeah, it's the Rhapsody ML M2 Pro. We're going to do a review on it and test it. I think he's not even used the balls. In fact, the sleeve of balls are brand new. There's some Pro Vs in there. I think that's for indoor use. I think you can use any ball outside. But anyway, we will do a review on it. But yeah, that's going to be for sale. And yeah, I think final point, what I will say is I'm feeling a lot better. If you follow the channel, obviously I weren't feeling great a few weeks ago, but after that little chat, I've been a bit more open. I felt great, and yeah, looking forward to obviously Christmas and New Year. Guys, hope you're enjoying the videos. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in a few days' time. Bye.